Okay, let's look at a couple of ratios that will tell us how much inventory a company should have on hand and maybe how good of a job they're are at managing that particular inventory. So there's two ratios that we're going to look at. The first one is the inventory turnover ratio. The second one is called days sales in inventory. So inventory turnover is going to tell us exactly what it says here. How many times during the year the inventory was purchased and then sold. So we're looking for a higher inventory turnover ratio here. We don't want things to sit on the shelf too long. We don't want to buy a bunch of inventory and just have it sit. So the more times during the year that we buy and sell merchandise, that's going to be better. And the way that's calculated is by taking our cost of goods sold, this will be ending for the year or the period, divided by average inventory. And hopefully you know by now average inventory is going to be beginning inventory plus ending inventory divided by 2. The second ratio, days sales in inventory, is going to take that just one step further, and I find it a little bit more meaningful. It's going to tell us how many days on average that particular inventory actually sits on the shelf. And the way that we calculate that is our ending inventory and divide that by cost of goods sold divided by 365. So we'll take a look at an example here. Okay, so here's some information from a balance or an income statement, and we can go ahead and prepare our inventory turnover ratio first. And we know that's going to be equal to our cost of goods sold, which I'm going to abbreviate as COGS, over our average inventory. And again, don't forget that our average inventory is our beginning inventory plus our ending inventory, all divided by 2. Okay, so if we know our cost of goods sold looks like here is going to be $736,900. Then we're going to divide that by our beginning inventory, $35,000, plus our ending inventory, $48,700. That number needs to be divided by 2. So we should get $736,900 divided by $41,850. If we take that a final step further, we'll see 17.61. So my inventory turnover is 17.61 times per year the inventory turns over. So that means an item on the shelf on average is purchased and sold 17.61 times during the year. Again, remember, higher number is going to be better here. Higher is better. And then we can, again, let's take that one step further and let's calculate the days sales in inventory. And days sales in inventory is going to be our ending inventory divided by cost of goods sold divided by 365. Okay, sorry, I thought I would clean up. The slide was getting a little dirty there, so we'll go ahead and figure this out. So ending inventory, again, let's come back over here, is $48,700. Cost of goods sold, we said earlier, was $736,900. And that number needs to be divided by 365. So if we go ahead and we do that, we get 48,700 divided by 2,018.90. And then if we take that one step further, we get 24.122 days. So that tells me that an item for this particular company actually had an inventory turnover of 17.61. That translates to every 24.122 days they're buying an item and it's being sold on average every 24 days. So that's probably a pretty good number. A high turnover rate and a low days sales and inventory is going to be desirable because it indicates that the inventory is turning over or being sold quickly. That's a good thing. An increase in the inventory turnover rate usually means increasing profits and will result from increasing sales. So that's definitely a number that companies want to pay attention to and make sure they're managing their inventory effectively. We don't want too much, but obviously we don't want too little as well because we don't want to run out of stock. So there's definite balancing act going on there.